my channel, The Baking Diva. The recipe I'm going to make for all of you today is by request. I know after the first of the year, everyone starts to feel like they have to lose a few pounds. So several people I know have gone on what they're calling a keto diet. That's K-E-T-O. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a ketogenic diet, even though I don't like to use the word diet. And what it is it's very high fat, it's moderate protein, and it's very low carbohydrate. And you do lose weight on it. It's something that works. But I'm just going to share a recipe with you, and for any of you that are interested in the keto diet, I'm not a doctor, talk to your doctor first. So anyway, this recipe today is chocolate donuts. That's right. They're like a cake type donut. They're yummy and they're keto friendly. So what do you need? First of all, you need to preheat your oven on 325 degrees. And these are baked donuts. They're not fried. So how do you bake donuts? You bake them in a donut pan. And I have greased generously this donut pan. You can pick these up anywhere. They're online. They're in any of the stores that sell cake supplies. I think this is a Norpro, but they have all kinds. The recipe is going to probably yield you more than 6 donuts. You might get 8 or 10, depending. So you'll probably have to do this twice. So what do we do first? We take a medium-sized bowl and we take a whisk. And what do we put in here? Well, obviously there's going to be low-carb ingredients that go in here. So we're going to put in a half a cup of coconut flour. You can get coconut flour in the health food aisle of the food store, or you can get it in any health food store. I bought mine in the food store. You're also going to add 1/3 of a cup of Swerve Sweetener. Now this is what Swerve looks like. Comes in a bag, and really what it is it's a unique blend of non-GMO ingredients that are derived from fruits and vegetables. There's no artificial ingredients in here. There's no preservatives or flavors, and it's great for baking. So we put 1/4 of a cup of the coconut flour in, and now I'm going to put 1/4 of a cup of the Swerve in. And it almost looks like a very fine granulated sugar. Alrighty. Smells good though. Alright, next we're going to put in some unsweetened cocoa powder. So we're going to put in there 3 tablespoons of the unsweetened cocoa powder. So add that in. 2, 3. And these donuts are great for adults, for children, anyone who likes a donut. All right, we put those 3 ingredients in. Now I'm going to put in some baking powder. We want 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You probably can't see this. It's a little jar, and it says baking powder on it, and it says baking powder is that white sticky powder that makes cookies puff up. I'm going to take a picture when I'm done of my canister jars. I bought them off of Etsy, and I love them because I didn't have enough room in my cabinet for my flour, sugar, brown sugar, powdered sugar, the baking powder, the baking soda. So some woman makes these, and they're great. They're called like the school jars, and each one has a label on it with a cute little saying, you know, what's in the jar. I'll take a picture and I'll show you. So anyway, back to the baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And baking powder makes your baked goods fluff up. So let me close that up. All right, in a little salt. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Just gonna put a little bit of this in because I don't have 1/4 of one with me. That's good. Okay. And I'm gonna take my whisk. You don't need to use a electric mixer for this. And you're gonna mix all these ingredients together. So while I'm doing that, how are all of you? We had another snowstorm here last night. We had about, how many inches, cameraman? How many? 8? He's not speaking today. We had about 8 inches, but now the sun's out, and they're telling us on Wednesday it's supposed to be like 72 degrees. I mean, I've never heard of such a thing. And the other thing is, I wanted to get this recipe all done for you because today is Sunday, and those of you that follow me know I will be in the hospital on Wednesday morning having a, what, cameraman?
A baby?
No, a knee replacement. So I'm not looking forward to it, but it's not my first surgery. So I'm just gonna go and get it over with so I can get out of this pain I'm in. So if you don't see me for the next week or two, and I'm missing in action, don't worry, I'll be back. Of course, the cameraman is threatening to bring the video camera to the hospital. Trust me, I'm not gonna look like any kind of a diva when you see me there. Are you really bringing the camera to the hospital, cameraman?
Yes, I am, and the doctor said, do not permit her to put all that makeup on and fix her hair.
No.
And everything.
That's really not true because nowadays, the hospitals feel different about this. Years ago, when you had surgery, they tell you don't put any nail polish on, don't put any makeup on. They don't really, at least the hospital I've been to, they don't tell you that anymore. I think they feel like if you feel good or you look good, then you'll feel good. Who knows? I'm the diva. I'm going to do what I want, right? Right, cameraman?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, so we mixed all this together. Now I'm going to stir in 4 eggs. Whoa, Diva. What happened, Diva? Okay, I'm going to stir those in. It's nice that you don't need a mixer for this. Okay. And after I stir in the eggs, I'm going to stir in 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. And there's a nice surprise that goes in these chocolate donuts. Do any of you know what it is?
Sorry.
It's coffee. Do you know why we put coffee in chocolate? Because it brings out the intensity of the chocolate and it tastes so good.
So the caffeine wakes up the coffee?
Probably. I like that. All right, so this is pretty well mixed. Okay. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put in our melted butter. That's 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. We're going to add in our vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. You all know how much I love vanilla. Let's get going here. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. And last but not least is 6 tablespoons of brewed coffee. Now, if you choose not to put brewed coffee in here, you can substitute it with water. But I love the coffee because the coffee, like I said, intensifies the chocolate flavor. So I'm going to put the coffee in there. Get that all mixed up. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get this all mixed. I'm going to fill up the pan for the donuts, and I'm going to put them in the oven for about 16 to 20 minutes until the donuts are set and they're firm when you touch them. Then I'm going to take them out of the oven and show you what we do next. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Holding up a donut here for you to see. Actually, depending on the size of your pan, you'll get anywhere from, I'm going to say, maybe 6 to 8 donuts. I ended up with 7 of them. And this is what they look like. I baked them for, I think it was 20 minutes. But anywhere from, say, 17 to 20 minutes. Just check on them. So what I did is, we're going to glaze just the top of these. It's just to give them a little sweet glaze on the top. I made the glaze off camera here. And I will tell you what I put in it. You know, most glazes you put a confectioner's sugar on there, which is very powdery and it dissolves easily. This you're putting that Swerve in there, so it's a little bit more like a sugar consistency. So what I put in the glaze was 1/4 cup of the powdered Swerve that we used in the donuts, 1 tablespoon of the unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then you can add anywhere from 1½ teaspoons to 2 teaspoons of water in there. You don't want it to be all drippy and wet, but you just want it to be a little bit of a glaze-like consistency, so when you just dip the top of your donut in, it'll stick to it. I'm gonna dip these donuts in the glaze. I'm gonna put them on a piece of parchment paper. And you're supposed to let them sit on the parchment paper while the glaze hardens for about a ½ hour. So I'm gonna just dip this top in here. There you go. Can you see that? And then I'm just gonna put it right on my parchment paper. It looks good and it smells good. So I'm gonna continue doing these. I really think if you're following keto, you want to give these donuts a try. They look pretty good to me, and of course the Diva tasted the batter and pretty good. So if you like this recipe, if you think you're going to like my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So I'm dipping these into the glaze, and you can see how nice they're coming out. Just look at that. So if you're on keto, and you want a little treat, you want something sweet, make yourself a batch of these delicious chocolate donuts. If you like what you saw today and you like my channel, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And also, there's a little bell next to it. Ring the little bell, because that's how YouTube sends you a notification whenever I have a new video up. And the thumbs up is nice. A comment is nice, because then I know that I'm talking to somebody out there. And I'm not talking to me, myself, and I. So please, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, like, and I'll see you again soon. So see you soon. Toodles!